Welcome everyone to another video. Today I'm gonna go over Season 2, which the new name right now is called The Road to Dawn. I'm gonna be over a bit how this season works, the season talents, the policies, and I'm gonna explain a few things that are new because the devs changed it. Like, for example, the Cosmic Interchange, okay? If we go to our events, as you can see, there's no Cosmic Interchange here. But we have this new event, where is it? Here. Crucible of Heroes. I'll explain how this event works and showcase the rewards, okay? So, let's start first with the season itself. This is season 2. This season everyone has to do it. The final dragon is the Ice Dragon, 6 camps. I mean, pretty straightforward. You open to one of the side zones, then you open to zone 3, and then you go into final zone. Like, the layout is pretty straightforward. Special mechanics of this season, we have the season talents, which is these things here. Here you have the quest to unlock the currency used to unlock the talent trees, and you have the policies, which, I mean, this is pretty much a stable on every single season. I think apart from that, the season is pretty much the same as all the other ones, although, for example, I mean, I think this is actually from every single season from now onwards. As you can see, we have this event here. You can do 3 raids a day. Every single raid gives you 1 gold key and 50 gems. I mean, a bit of whatever, to be honest. The first day is for marksman, second day is for mages, and third day is for infantry and cavalry alike. I don't know, I gotta say, I feel infantry is getting cooked. Because, I mean, this works through damage. And, I mean, cavalry obviously just out DPS as the infantry. Now, we have different rankings, which is regional rankings and personal rankings. Regional rankings are based on the zone you are. So we check here, we're in, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce this. This is another region, okay? So you're competing not only with your alliance, but with your camp. Oops. So we check here. The rewards for the regional ranking, it's kind of interesting. 30% plus prestige for defeating Darkling patrols or destroying Darkling forts. Up to 500k prestige can be obtained this way, buff lasts for 4 days. And the personal rewards, here you can see them. I gotta say, I feel like the personal ones are just like I don't know, like completely worthless. Regional ones though, I mean, 1 gold head is always better than nothing. Now, this has 3 stages, as you saw. Marksman stage, I'd say probably is the most important one. We check the rewards. Cosmic Interchange, outstanding. Okay, and here you can see what you can trade. And same personal rewards and regional rewards, and then you go to Crucible Ice Lizard. Your region reach rank 1, you get 500k elixir, which is pretty nice, to be honest. And some gems and the keys, same rewards for there, okay? So, I think this is interesting. This is like Rings of War 2.0, to be honest. You pretty much are competing with the other camps for those rewards and those and to be able to trade the speed ups. Now, I gotta say, something that will probably cause some issues is the camp, because it's not based alliance. You're depending on your camp. As for example, we're literally with a dead kingdom. Like, is this them? Like, I'm not even sure if they bother building in. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is them. Yeah, so as you can see, we're with 1 build power alliance, which pretty much is gonna be like again, look, it's just literally 4 players, okay? So, I mean, sometimes you will get cooked by the camp you're placed with, but maybe you can carry. So this is pretty much how the event works. I don't know the rewards exactly for the other stages, but I'd assume it's pretty much the same. So pretty straightforward. I think that's all the new events. Yes, I mean, apart from the special ones, which I will not go through as it's pretty basic. But yeah, now let's go to the talents, because I think, well, no, let's do policies first. This mainly if you're a new player, okay, because if you're like an older player, you already know how this works. You pretty much want to do the bare minimum and you want to advance. My suggestion is to rush the worms, okay? Here, as you can see, I rush stamina. The main reason is because this is an infantry account. I want to make sure when the first pass opens, my heroes have way higher stamina. I'm gonna max it, obviously. but like that's a priority for me for this account. In the cavalry one, I already unlocked, for example, the first warrant. Okay, so for infantry, I'm rushing this to 7, for example. Right now, I'm blocked by this, and then I'm gonna try to rush here for diligence for the extra stamina. Okay, so you will do the minimum. You get this 1 to 5. You unlock the first warrant, then you do this one. Choose this one. Pretty much everyone. Elixir production speed. Here I personally choose stockpile days over daily resource healing. The main reason I do this is because although this overall is higher quantity, it's resource healing. When I heal is like 1 day, 2 days. I'm not gonna sustain more than that. Like my account will be empty. So I'd rather be able for 1 day to heal like bigger amounts than be able to heal slightly more every single day, but for 7 days, because the PvP doesn't last like that long. So I personally, for resource healing, I go this way, but the other way is fine too. Then you want to bring this to 11, I'm pretty sure it is, so you get the 2 other warrants. And I mean, the rush you want to do is up until here, to be honest. This one, do not take it. It's pretty garbage, to be honest. Yes, it gives you 50%, 50k extra elixir. Like, that's literally 2 bad trades. Like, it's pretty much worthless, to be honest. Resource healing costs less 5%, which that's good. Second one, daily elixir production plus 20. Elixir capacity limit plus 100%. Resource healing cost less 10%. One of the main differences is the quantity of troops that you can have in your hospital wounded, but for most of the players this does not matter. So between these two, I'd go with this one. Main reason, you still get a good chunk of daily elixir production, you get higher resource healing cost reduction, and you get 100% extra elixir capacity limit, which is really good, plus daily resource healing quantity plus 1 mil. Now, the one I always choose is this one. Why? Because this is, if you're putting the amount of time that I do in the game, this is your pick. Resource healing costs less 20%. I'm gonna resource heal every single KVK. I know that, unless obviously it's like a really boring KVK, but I know I'm gonna do that. So the extra 10% from this and 15% from this is noticeable. And the stamina limit bonus for me as an infantry and cavalry player is the main factor. Okay, my infantry, I literally will run out of stamina in 4 hours, like more or less. My cavalry, it's gonna take longer, but I actually stamped out my caps. I think every single KVK except one, I ended up running out of stamina on my caps. So this for me is a must. I get more resource healing. I mean, there was one season where I actually reached the limit on resource healing, the rest I did not. But it's pretty much the resource healing cost reduction and the stamina. Like, the stamina is really important. Once you have this, it's pretty much the same. Elixir production speed. Here is up to you, you already know what I choose. Now here we have, like, this KVK is really based around army groups, which I'm not really a huge fan, because if I don't want to like do an army group, why do I have to be punished? And it's not like I'm getting a debuff, but the issue is I'm not getting the buff. Increase defense by 5% when legions are in an army group. Increase march speed of army groups you create by 10%. When not in an army group, legions deal 2% more damage when fighting an army group in the field. I mean, like, this will be good. The issue is it only applies when you're fighting army groups, and you're probably getting destroyed anyways. Like, for example, for my infantry account, I probably will choose this, or like not, like, because I haven't gone yet through the talents, but you will see that I pick talents that are based around having an army group. Defense 5% is a bare minimum. The march speed actually, even for infantry, wouldn't be bad. I don't know, to be honest, like, it's a bit tricky here. Because the issue is if I pick this and I pick the talents that I want to pick, they kind of nullify each other. Because this is based around playing not in army groups, while the talents are based around playing on army groups. I think I'm gonna still go for this one or this one. 5% defense is really not that huge. It's borderline almost useless, to be honest. Obviously it's better than nothing, but it's not gonna make you trade better, like insanely better. I prefer the march speed, more mobility. I think this is the W, especially for your army groups, which some people might have like slower builds than you. If not, take the extra 2 damage. Yes, it's only when you're fighting army groups, but again, in a KVK which is so based around army groups, it's very likely that you will go. But yeah. Then you get, this is well stuff, rallied army damage, garrison legion damage. You do the bare minimum. This is for rally and garrison leads, and then you, like again, like army groups. Like no joke, I think I'm gonna have to bring like one farm where I send like a march with one troop to my own army groups, and I just run with it, and that's it. Because I already will get the buffs. Merit gain rate, 10% extra merit if you're fighting from an army group. Like this season is just made to be playing like around army groups. Veteran, something you always want to have. If you're not a big whale, do not use this. Like at the end, like it's only 2% of your sub wounds, which is not much. But at the end, oh my god, they end up adding up. And then you have, like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if this is new. So I thought initially this was the policy that allows you to trade prestige for elixir, which I think that thing should be in every single season. That was a massive W. But this is different. Gain 1 elixir for every one of your level 4 plus units that die. You're giving me 1 elixir for every single T4 or T5 that I get as dead? Look, it's kinda acceptable because now I can revive them, but at least make this 10 or even 100. Like, I'm taking deaths. Like, a 1 for 1 isn't really not like you're still gonna unlock it because it's only 1 level, and it's better than nothing, but I don't know, I feel they went really low with the amounts. Inglorious Death, gain 1 merit for every one of your level 4, like, again, 1 merit, like, I don't know, whatever. You're gonna get those, but again, the main priority is rush through this. If you're not infantry, ignore the stamina at the start, rush through this, get your warrant, rush through this, get one of those, and then go back, get the 2 warrants, and then advance further. Now, between those two, if you're not a cap player, you go with counter infantry. You will really want to kill the enemy infantry faster, and if you're infantry yourself, it's more likely that you're fighting infantry than you're fighting cavalry, so pick this. This one I'm gonna choose mages because it's probably the most used march in the game, so it's more likely that I will benefit from this. Although this season archers have long range warfare, but again they are like a lower amount of, like, there's just way less people using that. If you're playing defensive, this is a must. Make way allows you to reinforce bastions with easier, and that's pretty much for the policies. Now let's move into season talents. Now I had here a longer part explaining everything, but I'm gonna go through what I think is the best options for everyone, and I'm gonna keep this shorter. Pretty straightforward. You have 15 points that you can get, which is this one, season talent points. You gotta do those quests here. Those are just pretty much just wait for the hours turn to end. Okay, so we have 15 points to choose from, and you can put, like, every single slot costs 1 point. This one is your PvE stuff. Okay, you either use this on a farm or you use this once the season is over. Because here you can get 1 extra daily warrant, 10 CP cost less per fort or darkling, 3% extra troops revived, CP or extra resources. Okay, again, farms or end of season, the PvP is over, and you just reset your PvP once, and you choose battle preparation for those extra rewards. Now, the second one I'm gonna talk about is this one. I'm not sure who actually picks this apart from a farm that's gonna be used to buff your marches, or someone who really wants to sacrifice a bit their performance in order to help the team. The main system of this tree here is the exemplar, and it's not exemplar wishes. I wish that was the case, but pretty much it's just like a druid buff. If you play that KVK, you give 10%, I think, 10% attack to 5 legions around you for 50 minutes. Does not apply to legions in a rally or garrison, and you get up to 150k merits from those legions, but it's a week, which is an absolute joke, and I think this should be 1.5 mil merits a week. Then here you either choose to get 5 more marches with the buff, or when you cast exemplar on one of your legions, the legion and any of your legions surrounding them gain the exemplar buff. So pretty much you're giving yourself a 10% attack buff to your marches. I mean, it's not horrible, but I think there's better ways if you can play with army groups. If you cannot play with army groups and you're playing cavalry or infantry, this would actually be decent. But again, if you cannot do an army group, do not go this route. So what I will choose here, Again, this is meant really not to be played with an army group, so I'd go with the extra. And I like the issues. This is such an absolute joke. Just go with this, to be honest. Go with this if you manage to be on an army group, or so you will deal 5% extra contact damage, which is nice. Take this 3% more normal attack damage in the field because this skips, and again, this is value all the time that you're on the field. So yeah. So this will be the support tree. I not really recommend it. I will try to move away from it unless you really cannot do any army groups, then go for it. But yeah. Now we're gonna move into two important ones, which is the cavalry infantry one, which will be this here, and your archer mage, which will be this here. I'm gonna go through the archer mage one first. So to start with, you're gonna pick this, okay? Now this before had a lot of value because the cap on merit retention per week was, I think, 300k if I'm not wrong. And then they increased it. Now it's 1.2 or 1.5 mil, I'm not sure. I mean, I think 200k on that is not as impactful as before, but it still has a good buff. This is just literally engineering speed, whatever. Now, if you're playing any range, you're gonna pick this, okay? When your range legion launches normal attack in the field, they have a 10% chance to reduce the target legion's defense by 0.5% for 10 seconds, maximum 10 stacks. Multiple legions can add stacks by attacking the same target, and each new stack resets the duration timer. So the more people you have with this, the bigger uptime you will have with the people, mainly the enemy infantry, having a reduction on defense, which will slightly help you to kill them faster. I think overall is a W. This gives you march speed. I'd stick with this for archers and mages. Now we're gonna move into this. When you have at least a ranged legion in battle in the field, each additional range legion that enters the battle increases range legion attacks by 1.5%. So, I mean, you don't have other choice and it's a W, so take it. And this is mages. Each time your magic units deal normal attack damage in the field, the target legion loses 1.5% march speed, maximum 15% for 5 seconds. Now this is extremely annoying as an infantry player. Like, when you have the charge, you can get to the range units pretty easy. The issue is when you connect and they start running backwards, infantry, like the collision system is not there, so it's really hard to be able to constantly be like doing normal attack damage and casting skills. This further amplifies that. And then here we have long range warfare. Again, if you don't know what this is la creme of la creme for archer players. Pretty much gives you the same amount of range on your units than mages, and it takes you 20% of your physical attack away. Still, like, just take it. Like, there's no debate, okay? Just take long range warfare and you finally start enjoying your archers for one season before you get destroyed again. So this will be the pathing. This one, mage or archer, depending on you. And we have 5 extra points where we can choose where we want to put them. My recommendation will be take this. You get 1% extra damage for the season once you reach 1 mil marriage, which will be pretty easy. And then you take this 5% extra resource healing cost reduction, like a W overall. And then if you ever get to create an army group because maybe you have 1 infantry march, you get this small buff here, okay? That will be my choose for archer mages. Now, for infantry and cavalry. If you can make army groups, which this season is literally just based around, you pick this here. So my recommendation again is go with this. The main reason is this only works when you're already dead, so it's not really giving you any buff. The only value I see on this is at the pass opening, and if you're a cavalry player who's trying to go fast into the enemy backline, try to hit some people, when you die you don't need to, like, if it's gonna be like a 30 minutes walk, now it will be a 15-minute walk, so you can go again, okay? But apart from that, when cities, territories touching, is pretty much worthless. So I'd go all the time with the glory bound. Now, you gotta choose here a bit. If you're like in an easy season or you're really not gonna resource heal much, you go with this one. Pretty much 5% attack, okay, for your melee legions. Anyone else just go with the resource healing cost reduction, okay? 5% doesn't offset the amount of resources that this will end up saving you long term. Then obviously, after creating an army group, you will also receive 5% of the merits obtained by the other Lord's Legion while they're in your army group. Up to 100k merits per week. Again, it's a joke, it should be at least 1 million. 100k is nothing. And now, this is for infantry, which I think this is really good. Infantry units in an army group, you you create have a 15% chance to take 25% less damage from ranged units in the field and deal counterattack damage to the target, damage factor 240. So pretty much you're getting an extra venomous lizard on your march, and you're reducing with a chance the range damage coming to you. This is why I say this season is made to be played around army groups. I think army groups of infantry are probably the worst, because you're making a big ball of your infantry and literally just you're taking all the AoE damage possible that you can imagine, which is not really something you want to do with your infantry. You want to spread them out so you lose them slower and you have more uptime on your front line. But due to these buffs, I think you kind of want to go with the army group. I think ideally you just make an army group with one more march, and that's literally it. And then for cavalry, you get buff on your unyielding rush. You take further 40% less damage, which is pretty much already no damage. And the cooldown is reduced by 20%, which is a 10-second skill. So that means every 8 seconds now you can use unyielding rush, which, I mean, it's not crazy. Damage reduction is really good, but it's not as good as the infantry one, but it's a W overall, so you take it. Now, what do you do with the 5 extra points? My recommendation is gonna be you come, which one was it? This one, yeah. So if you're cavalry, you're gonna pick this, the merit retention, and you're gonna pick Gale Step. 10% extra march speed on your caps is gonna be really good. It's gonna be better than 3% more normal attack on the field, or the 5% counter attack if you're in an army group, which I will never be because I'm playing with my cavalry, okay? So for me the easy choice is this, and then I pick this, and yeah, I mean the extra point you put it wherever you can. If you're infantry though, my recommendation will be go with this. So you're making your army group with one more infantry, for example, you get 5% extra counter-attack damage on that army group, which is a big W, and then you get 3% extra normal attack damage in the field, which, I mean, really small buff, but it's something. You can even take this with the extra point, to be honest, and buff your own march. No, you cannot buff your own marches. Yeah, it gets close, but yeah, I mean, the pathing pretty much, the interesting thing is getting this extra counter-attack damage and the normal attack damage in the field. That's pretty much it. Again, at the end of the season, you reset everything and you get your preparations. The main goal is to get this daily warrant, and no, what is it? Yeah, wait. Okay, I thought the buff was bigger there. So this one is good too, to get a lot of resources. The issue is I personally prefer the warrant for the pets, but if you're kind of okay with your pets and you're really lacking on resources, take this. Legion Gather speed is on the resource center is increased by 50%, and unit load capacity is increased by 50%. With the change to the aligned resources speed, this is really good, so I recommend to go for this at the end of the season if you're struggling for resources. So that's gonna be it, and catch you in the next one.